The 2016 United States presidential election in Utah was held on November 8, 2016, as part of the 2016 general election in which all 50 states plus the District of Columbia participated. Utah voters chose electors to represent them in the Electoral College via a popular vote pitting the Republican Party's nominee, businessman Donald Trump, and running mate Indiana Governor Mike Pence against Democratic Party nominee, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her running mate, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine. On March 22, 2016, in the presidential primaries, Utah voters expressed their preferences for the Democratic and Republican parties' respective nominees for president. Registered members of each party only voted in their party's primary, while voters who were unaffiliated chose any one caucus in which to vote. Donald Trump won the election in Utah with 45.1% of the vote. Hillary Clinton received 27.2% of the vote. Background: the incumbent president of the United States, Barack Obama, a Democrat, was first elected president in the 2008 election, running with Joe Biden of Delaware, defeating the Republican nominee, Senator John McCain of Arizona, with 52.9% of the popular vote and 68% of the electoral vote. Following his second term, President Obama is not eligible for another re-election. In October 2015, Obama's running mate and two-term Vice President Biden decided not to enter the race for the Democratic presidential nomination either, with their term expiring on January 20, 2017. The electorate is asked to elect a new president, the 45th President and 48th Vice President of the United States, respectively. Caucus elections. Democratic caucus. General election. Political landscape in Utah. The state of Utah has given its electoral votes to the Republican ticket in every election year since 1968 and only once voted for a Democratic candidate in elections since 1952. The state has a majority Mormon population which voted 78% to 21% for Mitt Romney in 2012. Evan McMullin, a conservative independent candidate, had also been viewed by voters in Utah as another alternative, given that it is also his home state. According to one poll released on October 12, Trump and Clinton were seen as virtually tied in Utah at 26%. With McMullin polling at 22%. This was the first conducted statewide opinion poll of the 2016 election where a third-party candidate has placed first. Had McMullin won Utah, he would have become the first third-party candidate to ever win the state, the first third-party candidate to win a state since former Alabama Governor George Wallace of the American Independent Party in the 1968 presidential election, and the first third-party candidate to win an electoral vote since 1972, when a faithless elector in Virginia cast a vote for Libertarian Party candidate John Hospers instead of Richard Nixon. McMullin would have also likely become the first third-party candidate to win a non-Southern state since progressive Robert M. La Follette Sr. in the 1924 election, when he carried Wisconsin. Because McMullin is not affiliated with any specific political party, he would have become the first nonpartisan candidate since George Washington to win a state in 224 years since Washington's re-election in 1792, and ultimately the first nonpartisan candidate to win a state west of the Mississippi River. Polling. Candidates on the ballot. Candidates not on the ballot. Results. By county. Analysis. Utah, which had staunchly rejected eventual nominee Donald Trump in favor of Texas Senator Ted Cruz in the Republican caucuses. According to exit polls, Donald Trump won the Mormon vote, 51 to 39, over Evan McMullin, with Clinton getting only 14%. Clinton managed a win in Salt Lake County, Utah, where the capital Salt Lake City is located, and in neighboring Summit County, Utah, containing Park City and other settlements in the northeast corner of the state. Utah was one of only 11 states where Hillary Clinton improved on President Obama's performance in 2012. Compared to all other states, Utah moved heavily away from the Republican Party, having the lowest conservative state rank, number 17, since 1948. Evan McMullen's 21.3% of the vote is the strongest third-party performance in a single state since Ross Perot's performance in Maine during the 1992 presidential election. He finished second ahead of Clinton in 15 of Utah's 29 counties.